Right, guys, how are you? Lesson 12. We're going to be looking at chord dominance. That's what we're going to be looking at. But before we go any further, in lesson 13, that's where we're going to do the revision. You remember in lesson 11, I gave you what to do. But I have a reason why. For those people who did the work, or who are doing the work, they will know why I am saying that in the next lesson. That's when we'll revise. Are we together? So, in this lesson, we'll be doing chord dominance. In the previous lesson, we did incomplete dominance. So, according to our exam guidelines, this is where we are. We've done complete dominance, we've explained it. We've done incomplete dominance, we've explained it. So, in chord dominance, incomplete dominance, one allele is dominant and the other is what? Is recessive. And the dominant allele will mask the recessive allele if they are found in a heterozygous state. So therefore the phenotype of a heterozygous genotype will be that of the dominant allele. Right. And then in incomplete dominance, what did we talk about? We talked about how there is not any allele that is going to be dominant over the other. There isn't. Instead, when these two alleles are found together in a heterozygous state, then what you have is resulting from that is an intermediate phenotype. That's what you have, an intermediate phenotype. Right. When you're looking at an intermediate phenotype, what are we talking about? We're talking about a blend of the two alleles. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about a blend of the two alleles. So, when you're asked to describe, listen, because these types of dominance are what? Are in the exam guidelines. It therefore means that you will be asked what complete dominance is, what incomplete dominance is, and what chord dominance, which is what we're going to do now, is. And you also may be asked to differentiate between these types of dominance. You will also be required to do questions, genetic problems involving each of the three types of what? Of dominance. So we're going to do 2 sessions of questions that will do with these types of problems that involve all 3 types of what? Of dominance. Right. So we now know from the last lesson that incomplete dominance is whereby neither of the two alleles is dominant over the other. Instead, it's like when the two alleles are meshed together in a heterozygous form, you're going to have a situation where they blend their characteristics. And then you end up with an intermediate characteristic. So when you are describing incomplete dominance, when you're describing incomplete dominance, you need to pay attention if it is an answer that you're giving. It needs to have this inside it, intermediate or blend. If it is a question and they talk about a blend, a mixture, an intermediate form, the very first thing that you're supposed to think is, it may be what? It may be incomplete dominance. Not saying that it is what? Incomplete dominance. But we are saying that it should act as should ring a bell in your mind. That no, in this question they are saying intermediate, blend, something like that, mixture. Then you will know, this must be around. Maybe it is. Maybe it is what? It is incomplete dominance. Right. We're done with that. And now we're going to look at chord dominance. So what is chord dominance? It is when both alleles of a gene are equally dominant. Let's recap. Complete dominance, one allele is dominant and the other is what? Recessive. Incomplete dominance, none of the two alleles is dominant over the other. But in chord dominance, both alleles of a gene are equally dominant, whereby both alleles express themselves in the phenotype in the heterozygous condition. Whereby both alleles express themselves in the phenotype in the heterozygous condition. Right. In our previous lesson, we looked at snapdragons, if you remember. And we know snapdragons are what? Are exhibiting incomplete dominance. When it comes to what? When it comes to the flowers, the type of flowers that they produce. So we know that they are red flowers, and you also get what? White flowers. When these two are found in the heterozygous condition, because none of these is dominant over the other, then you are going to have a situation where there is a blend, an intermediate form. And in this case here, you will have what? Pink flowers. Good to go. Now listen to me. Let's go to codominant. Let's see what the exam guidelines tell us. In codominant, both alleles are what? Equally dominant. Whereby both alleles express themselves, both of them, both are expressing themselves in the phenotype. Both alleles are expressing themselves in the phenotype. When it is in a heterozygous condition. Now listen to this. If, I said if, it's not the case. I'm just giving you this so that you understand where we're coming from. If snapdragon flowers were not exhibiting incomplete dominance, they exhibit incomplete dominance. Let me repeat that. They exhibit incomplete dominance. But let's just say, for argument's sake, if they exhibited co-dominance, because if they exhibited, I said if they exhibited co-dominance, then both red and white, because both are dominant, they would share the phenotype. So instead, in a heterozygous condition, if they are not co-dominant, but if they were, instead of you producing pink flowers, which is what they do. Why? Because they exhibit what? Incomplete dominance. But as an example, for argument's sake, if they were co-dominant, then that means that this heterozygous condition would not give us pink flowers. Instead, the phenotype would exhibit both characteristics of each allele. So if there was co-dominance in snapdragon flowers, then this heterozygous condition would give us a plant with flowers that have maybe spots or stripes of red and white. It will give us red and white, spots, maybe, or maybe stripes of what? Flowers. Now can you see the difference between these two? This one is exhibiting what? Incomplete. This is what happens in snapdragon. And they're giving us an intermediate pink. Half and half. Red, white, mixture, blend, sorry. You say blend. Or intermediate form, you get what? You get pink. But, argument's sake, if they were exhibiting what? Co-dominance. Because both of them are dominant. The offspring in a heterozygous condition would exhibit what? Red and white in the flower. So each flower would have some red and some white. Another flower would have red and white, red and white, red and white. So the plant would have flowers that have a mixture. If you pick one flower, you would have red, white, red, white, red, white. Are we together? I only use this because you're not familiar with it from the previous what? From the previous lesson. However, for this purpose, so let's go back. So for codominant, both alleles are equally dominant. Oh, and by the way, these are definitions: complete, incomplete, and codominant. Where are they coming from? From the exam guidelines. So what do? In our notes, we write it exactly as it is. If this question comes, you write it exactly as given from the exam guidelines. If they're asking what complete dominance is, incomplete dominance is, or codominance is. Right. Now let's go. Let's put some details. Let's put some flesh into it. Right. Where are you codominance? There we are. Let's blow it up. Right. Bingo. So, in some cases, both alleles of the gene pairs are equally dominant and both are expressed in the what? Both what? Alleles are expressed where? In the phenotype. Of a what? Of a heterozygous. So therefore, the heterozygous has visible characteristics. What is this? Phenotype. Has visible characteristics from what? From both parents. And this is now known as what? As codominance. Right. A well-known example of codominance occurs in cattle, where if you cross a homozygous red cow and a homozygous white cow, what do you get? Because these two are codominant, you realize that the red and white, because they're equally dominant, all the offspring will have what? Both red as well as white hair. We call these wrong calves. Let me search. Let's see. There we go. Let's go. Bingo. And I know you have seen this before. You have seen them. Come on, hurry up. Hurry up. There we go. These are wrong calves. You must have seen this before. Why? Because, let me take this one. This is a result. This cow is a result. Let's open it there. Full image. There we go. This calf is a wrong calf. Why? This calf is an offspring of two cows mating. And one was what? Was red. Had red hair. And the other had what? White hair. Because the alleles, the red and white alleles, are equally dominant. What happened is that in the offspring, this offspring, the offspring, because the alleles are co-dominant, they're equally dominant, then the offspring will have both what? The characteristics of both parents. What did the parents have? One was red hair, one had red hair, and the other had what? White hair. So the offspring comes with some bit of what? With some bit of red hair and some bit of what? White hair. I hope that makes sense. You will find other interesting examples on the internet. Right. We're good to go. I hope that makes sense. That is called dominance. Are we together? Right. We're good to go there. Now, on the homework I gave you from the last one, from the last lesson, I want you to add the following. Supplementary. Remember what we said? We use what? We use past exam questions. Why? So that we don't panic. The only reason why kids fail is because you guys, you don't do questions. You don't do questions. So when the exam comes, or when assessments come, you panic because you don't do questions. So let's not make this a beast question. Let's not make them a beast. If you do past exam questions all the time, it becomes your new normal. Such that when you write your exams, you don't have an issue that comes and you go like, I'm writing an exam. No, no, no. You need to be calm. So we do past exam questions, and we do that for every subject. Right. This paper is June. Is the supplementary paper, sorry. 2019 paper 2. 2019 paper 2. 2019 paper 2. Supplementary paper. So you go and you download. If you are my student, you know you have your papers. But if you are watching and you are doing grade 12 and you are here in South Africa, please go and download. Right. I don't know which other websites. I'm in Eastern Cape. So I'm going to do it once and then I won't do it again. You go to ecexams.coza. Now do it for you here. ecexams.coza, and then you get this cover page for the website. And then you come here, examination papers. There are your examination papers. What did I say? I said that the paper was what? Was supplementary, which is what? The supplementary paper is the May-June examination. So you come here. May-June grade 12 examinations, you click on it. And then you get all the subjects. You go to life sciences, it's down here. And then you download the paper. So again, from the previous homework I gave you, do question, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? There we go. Do question 2.4 from what? From paper 2. Remember, genetics is in paper 2. So do question 2.4. And then we'll come back. And then we're going to do another. So then the next lesson, we're definitely going to be looking at what? At all the questions that I gave. And then I'll also give you more questions. If you don't have data, then take a screenshot. Take a screenshot and do it. It's just starting from here today. Are we together? I hope you enjoyed the lesson. And I hope you got it. Any questions, you know where to find me. Comments. You post them. I read them. Take care, guys.